four-time MVP LeBron James. Sources tell our Adrian Wojnarowski LeBron is likely to return tonight in the Lakers game against the Knicks after battling through the high sprain of his right ankle in March. Our Lakers reporter Dave McMenamin reported that LeBron visited an ankle specialist last week and that he's been pain-free in his workouts after taking 4 more games off. That, of course, came after a 2-game return. Before that, he'd missed 6 weeks. Let's bring in Dave now. And Dave, plain and simple, what should we expect to see from LeBron tonight?
Well, Sage, there's still an if as to whether he plays. A source told me yesterday that he's, quote, close. So that could mean Tuesday, that could mean Wednesday against the Rockets. But if he's in there, you're going to see him play in the 30-minute range, certainly back in the starting lineup. And there's 2 things the Lakers want to accomplish. One, work on LeBron's rhythm and timing to try to use these 4 remaining regular season games, how many of them that he plays in, to get into some sort of groove, either entering into the play-in tournament or entering into the playoffs. And number 2, it's to try to win the game. The Lakers are 28-15 with LeBron in the lineup this year, only 10-15 without him. So certainly there's a big gap there. LeBron, one of the best winners ever to play the game, makes a big impact on that end. But again, I want to focus on the Lakers officially have him listed as out right now. But of course, the last 2 times that LeBron came back from injury, the Lakers listed him as out the day before the game. And the day of the game, he changed to questionable, and that was in the starting lineup.
Okay, so a big if officially, but right now, expecting is the word that we're going to go with. By the way, Caesar still believes in the Lakers. They're still the favorites to win the Western Conference. So we'll hold on to that. And also the favorites in the East, about to get a superstar of their own back from injury. Matt?
Yes, Sage, we think so. On April 5th, I was arriving on the grounds of Augusta National for the Masters. It was also the last time James Harden played in a basketball game, and it was only for 4 minutes. Now, one has nothing to do with the other. It was just a long time ago. Harden has been out with a hamstring injury. He suffered a setback in rehab. So the question now is, what's next? That's a question we have for our NBA reporter, Malika Andrews, who joins us now. And Malika, what are you hearing about a timeline for Harden's return?
Well, Matt, it's certainly not outside of the realm of possibility that James Harden could return as soon as tomorrow, Wednesday, that is, against the San Antonio Spurs. As Adrian Wojnarowski reported yesterday, that isn't a certainty, but it also has not yet been ruled out, I've been told. So they're working toward that goal. And yesterday, Steve Nash told me that James Harden is up to the point now that he is participating fully in scrimmages and is progressing very well, he said. What they're weighing now is James Harden has said to me he wants to play in a couple of games, not just one, a couple, before the end of the season. But the Nets finish the season starting tonight with 2 sets of back-to-back games. And so Steve Nash is continuing to weigh how he can integrate James Harden back into the lineup. But also we know that Steve Nash does not like to play Blake Griffin and Kevin Durant on both halves of back-to-backs. So they're weighing right now when James Harden can come back, which again could be as soon as tomorrow, with also wanting to build some chemistry with all of those guys and figuring out when in those back-to-back sets they could all play, because the Big Three has only played 7 games together still, Matt.
And you talk about those 7 games. I mean, you're going into a playoff stretch where a lot of people think they can win an NBA championship. Those 7 games together, you're going to need a little bit more of that chemistry. And the Nets schedule, they have just 4 games left in the regular season. That includes their final road game tonight in Chicago. Malika Andrews is all over it. Malika, thank you.
Mr. Triple-Double. That would be Oscar Robertson. He's held that record, the most triple-doubles in NBA history since March 24th, 1974. The Big O out, moved Russell Westbrook in. Let's explain how it happened, because what we are witnessing truly is history from Russell Westbrook. It was the Wizards against the Hawks, and he took care of his points early on. He had 10 in the first quarter. Has only scored 10 in the first quarter in 3 of his 36 triple-doubles this season. And LeBron James are the other 3. How about that line? He entered the 4th, 3 boards shy of a triple-double. Down 12 play right there, going coast to coast. Wizards cut the lead to 10. And then he's just a rebound shy of a triple-double. He gets the defensive rebound there. There you go. His 182nd triple-double. Russell Westbrook passing Oscar Robertson for the most in NBA history, honestly.
On the back, but tonight I will, just because, I'm so grateful for the ones before me, and so blessed and thankful for the man above for allowing me to go out and do what I do. And I humbly say this, but like I said last week, I'm the best playmaker in this league, and I know that in my mind, and I do that every night. I try to do things that people said it can't be done or you can't do it, and my motto is why not? I've been blessed with the ability to be able to play this game at a level that nobody else can play it at, and I won't stop until I can't play no more.
Russell Westbrook never lacking in confidence, and I get it. I understand it. Let's bring in our analyst, Monica McNutt, joining us live on SportsCenter. And this was really just the icing on the cake for what's been an incredible 5-year run in particular for Westbrook. Monica, how do you characterize what you have seen from him over the last couple of seasons?
Well, Sage, you said it. Mr. Triple-Double is now his title. And I loved the video that the Wizards staff put together to honor Russ, where you actually had Oscar Robertson congratulating him and Jason Kidd reminding him that that title was now his. Here's the thing. If you're like me, you appreciate this. We don't need to necessarily dig into it. But if you're part of the "we give away triple-doubles too easy" crowd, or their empty stats, you have to look at the numbers in terms of what Russ has actually been able to do. He's had 18 triple-doubles in his last 21 games. When you look at what the Wizards have done over the last 21 games, they're 15-6, and 5 of those losses were by 3 points or less. So there is no calibration that says that these stats are empty. He has literally been quintessential to the run that the Wizards have been on, including that 8-game win streak. We're talking about them as a team that has an opportunity to shake things up in terms of the new playoff structure, and that is directly correlated to the production that Russell Westbrook has been able to bring to this squad. We need to tip our hats to this and appreciate it because it is greatness. I know that we talk about championships, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we cannot appreciate this feat. There's a reason that this record stood until yesterday, since 1974.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And by the way, the appreciation there from everybody, to your point, in particular his new teammate, who's also a star, Bradley Beal, and he was on First Take earlier today. We're going to hear from Bradley with his perspective on what it's like to play alongside Russ. History, that's coming up later on SportsCenter. Monica, thank you. In the meantime, let's go back to the Big O for a second, because again, it had been a long time since he set that NBA record for the most career triple-doubles. November of 1961 actually is when it began. That is over 5 years before the NFL would stage the first ever Super Bowl. How about that for context? Westbrook broke the all-time record in exactly 100 fewer games than the Big O. He finished with 181 triple-doubles in 1,040 games. Westbrook, now 182 in just 940 games. It's awesome to see. Matt, there was a game, though.
There was a game. And, Sage, it was a good game at that. Playoff implications. 2:25 left. Hawks up 4. Russell pulls up, hits the 3. Wizards down 1. Now in the other end, another offensive dynamo, Trae Young, blows by 3 defenders. Hawks up 3. Young finished with 36 points. Minute to play. Still a 3-point game. Westbrook in transition finds Rui Hachimura. Wizards now down 1 as a part of that triple-double. Westbrook dished out 21 assists. 35 seconds to play. Kevin Huerter. Oh, that is tough. Through contact does Westbrook. They should have been fouled. Game time and 1. Didn't get the call. Wizards down 1. After a timeout, 14 seconds left. Hawks, the shot clock winding down as boy, did he have a look. Could you imagine if that would have fallen on the night he made history? Nonetheless, Hawks win 125-124. Half game now are the Hawks behind the Knicks for the 4th spot in the Eastern Conference. As for the other playoff implications, Washington's loss paired with Indiana's win gives the Pacers a half-game lead over the Wizards for the 9th seed in the East. Miami has won 2 in a row, while Boston has dropped a pair of games. So now the Heat have a 2-game lead over Boston.